Hello, we're going to do a really short practice just for our hips today. So I hope you enjoy it. It's a bit short, but something you can fit in during your lunchtime or maybe in the evening. Just some time to focus on your hips. If you're feeling a little bit stiff or you've been sitting all day or you're feeling a little bit unstable in your hips maybe. So first things first, we're going to come down onto the floor. And sometimes when we have stiff hips or with tight hips, it might be that we need to focus on the flexibility part, but also it might be that maybe we need a bit more strength also in that area. So a nice way of really just checking in and creating a little bit more mobility into our hips is just coming onto all fours. I'm just taking a few deep breaths in and out. So spread the fingers and put the hands just under the shoulders and the knees just roughly under the hips. You can separate your knees about hip distance. And then we're going to slowly just slide the right foot back behind us, just like that, so it doesn't lift just yet. We're going to tone our belly, so we don't want to kind of overarch in our back. We want to just slightly draw the navel up a little bit. And the other thing is you don't want to lean over to your left side too much. So you want to just keep in the center line. Now do your best with that, because I know in other videos they might be like telling you to stay and don't move, but just try your best, okay? Slowly lift the right inner thigh up towards the ceiling, or not too high. Spread your toes. And then bend the right knee. Draw the right knee in towards your chest a little bit. Stretch it back. You can do this in the morning when you're feeling a little bit stiff. Do that a couple of times. Let's do it 3 more times on this side. Knee into chest. And round your back a little bit more as you draw your chin down towards that knee. And then slowly drop your right knee down. Stretch your left foot back. Lift the left inner thigh up. Tone your belly. And then round your back. Knee a little bit into chest. I mean, you can push a little bit into the floor too with your hands. So just chin to knee, and then as you lengthen the foot away from you, you can lengthen your chest away from the foot. Drop your knee down. And then right knee slides back again. Right foot slides back, lift the right inner thigh. Now bend the knee here, spread your toes evenly, and then slowly turn the right knee out to the side, kind of making a little bit of a 90-degree angle. And now slowly draw your right knee down. And then back up. And then just kind of stay with the midline again. Notice if you're sliding off to the left a good bit. Let's do one more. And drop your right knee down. Slide your left foot back. Lift the left inner thigh. Bend the knee. And just turn the knee out to the side. Maybe the foot in line with the knee. Do the best you can with that. And draw the knee down. And back up. Out to the side just a couple of times. Let's do it 5 times. One more time. Drop your knee down. Open up your knees wide, toes together. Stretch your arms forward. Sink your hips. Then lift your face, lift your chest, spread your fingers. Let's step into downward dog. Stretch the right leg up, bend the knee and kind of squeeze the right foot towards the right buttock. And then start to turn open the inner thigh a little bit. And then as best you can, make a circle with your knee. Draw your knee down towards your chest as before, out to the side, maybe up a little bit and back, and rotate. Let's do it 3 times. Just go easy with this if this feels, you don't have to make a big circle. And then slowly step that right foot forward. Bring your arms back a little bit, lift your chest. Bring your hands into prayer. And then stretch your arms up for a high lunge. Exhale, come down, step back into downward dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Now what you do is you try to squeeze the left heel towards your left buttock first. And then you turn open the hips. So you try to turn the left inner thigh up towards the ceiling. And then we make a big circle. We draw the knee down, out, up and back. And don't get too caught up in whether the circle is correct, whether it's a full circle. Just do your best. And then slowly bring your left foot forward. Find your footing, bring your arms back a little bit. Lift your chest a little bit away from the front thigh. And then slowly sit up a little bit more. Raise your arms up. And exhale. Step back into a downward dog. And then step your feet towards the top of the mat. Just walk up. You bend your knees here, put your hands onto your hips and inhale, stand up. Exhale. Separate your feet hip distance apart. Put your palms together. And then slowly bend the knees. Now draw the weight back into your heels a little bit more so your tailbone and your hips draw back a little bit more. And start to bring the weight into your left foot. Now see how you get on with this. Cross the right ankle just above your left knee. Stay here or go lower. Start to drop your chest closer towards your shin. Draw your hips back. And now start to draw that right outer hip back. Spread your toes and press out through that inner heel a little bit more. And you might even come down and touch the floor or not. Bring your palms back into prayer and then slowly come back up. Let's do the other side. Cross the left ankle just above the right knee. And take a deep breath in. And exhale. Lower a little bit, but keep this left foot active. So really spread your toes, press out to the inner heel. Draw your hips back more. And kind of hover there, or maybe you can get your chest towards your shin a little bit closer. Or maybe you can even bring your fingers to the floor. Keep your breathing smooth, long and deep. And then slowly bring your palms back into prayer and carefully stand up. Okay, so before we get into some of those sort of nice, relaxing hip opening postures on the floor or using the wall, Let's just do one more standing pose. So bend the right knee, bring the right foot back behind you. Now you can hold with both hands if you wish, but often, let me turn around so you see what's going on. Often you see this, you know, people's butts stick out, they're overarching in their back. So what you want to do is draw your tailbone down to the floor, squeeze the inner thighs towards each other, and really start to lift the front of your pelvis up and in. So this place here, which is the front of your pelvis, move that up and in as you draw your knee down and back. Kind of wake up your right foot a little bit more too, kind of spread the toes and push through your heel. Slowly release. Firm the right leg, and now bend your left knee. Bring that left foot back towards your left buttock. And okay, look, if one side is much tighter than the other side, it's going to be challenging. So you see how you get on, but still draw your tailbone down. Lift the front of your hips up and in. Squeeze these inner legs together. And try to broaden your chest a little bit more across your collarbones. Slowly release. Okay, so come to the wall, but actually don't bring your mat. And there's a reason for that. So come as close as possible to the wall. Make sure there's no gap there behind you. Now, at any point, don't do this, okay? Put your hands down and lift. That's a no-no, okay? So move all the way back, separate your legs a little bit, and start with bringing the right ankle, as we did before, just above your left knee. Now you can take your time and stay here, and this might feel like a lot for your hips. Or you might be able to bend the left knee a little bit, but notice if you did this, whoop, don't do that, okay? So try to let your legs do the work, okay? So make sure you're all the way back in. Bend the left knee a little bit, slide the left foot in a little bit. That's why you weren't off the mat, because it would be very hard to do this on the mat. And if you have a little bit more room there to maneuver, to move, just put your hands behind your thigh, slide the heel in a little bit more, or even grab your shin. Now spread your toes evenly here and press out through your inner heel and try to relax against the wall. Now bring the weight evenly into both sit bones, so your left sit bone and right sit bone, so it's not going all the way over onto your right side. And keep spreading the toes and pressing out to that inner right foot. You can stay as long as you want here, a minute, maybe even 5 minutes if you can hang out. But I'm going to just stay for about a minute. So slowly release the left leg. Let's do the other side. Cross the left ankle just above your right knee. Slide the foot in or not. And of course, you might be just only down here, and that's okay. That's where you work, you know. Just notice if your shoulders are lifting up or you're really tense in your face. So kind of pull back a little bit if that's getting a little too intense for you. Slide your foot out and release your left leg. Just shake them a little bit. And then come back onto your mat again. Lie down. And we kind of repeat the pattern a little bit, but just slightly different. So cross your right ankle just above your left knee again. And take a deep breath in. Exhale, slide. Just let the legs to fall over to the left this time. Both shoulders down, broad across your chest. And then inhale, come back up. And this time then we're going to just slide the legs over to the right now. This is just a few tiny examples of working, I suppose, exploring your hips. Doesn't mean that this is the answer for every sort of hip situation. Come back up, release your right leg, cross your left ankle just above your right knee. Stay there if that feels even intense in itself, or maybe you can slide the left foot down to the floor on the right side. Inhale, come back up, and exhale now. Just slide your legs over in the opposite direction. Keep both shoulders down, grounded, just broad across your collarbone, breathing smoothly. And inhale, come back up. And exhale, release the legs. Just hug the knees into the chest. Open your knees a good bit wider as best you can, and bring your arms in between your legs. And just see how you get on with this. Maybe you can reach towards your inner legs and just pull your feet in a little closer. Or maybe some of you can grab your feet and bring the soles of your feet together. If you're doing that, just slowly draw the feet and the heels a little bit more in towards your abdomen. Keep that lower back and your sacrum down on the floor as you do that. And slowly release. Drop your feet down onto the mat, and I suggest coming into constructive rest. Just moving your feet about 12 inches away from your hips, from your pelvis, from your buttocks, and just resting. So also we're giving our hips, particularly the psoas muscle there, just this big long muscle that kind of hangs on up here, and a little past our hip flexors. It gives it a chance to just slowly release too.